Finally got to 40 million rand debt. Starting from
how much?
40 million rand
in debt.
In debt.
How old were you?
That time I was late 20s, about 29.
Yeah.
Close to 30, so.
Hi, Busi.
Hey.
How are you?
Thank you so much, Justice, for inviting me.
Nah, no stress. No stress. Are you well?
I'm perfect. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Nah, it's going to be amazing. Nah. Yeah. Did you bring your book?
Whoa! I forgot to bring my book. I'm sure you've got a picture of it somewhere.
Nah. Yeah. Maybe I'll just put it there in the edit.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you feeling?
I'm great. It's a good Monday.
Yeah. Nah. Are you having a lovely Monday? Because a lot of people, they don't really have like a proper Monday usually.
I think because of my work, I work a lot on weekends.
Yeah.
So Mondays are mostly the day where I'm mostly relaxed.
Yeah.
Thinking, oh, finally the work week is over. My time off is Monday. So I'm always feeling good. It's like a Saturday for me.
Nah, fantastic. So usually on my podcast, I don't usually do intros like, hey, welcome to this and this and this and this. I just have like a normal conversation. Like we're just having like tea, just like we're having water right now, but we're just having a normal conversation. Yeah, but are you well though? Like how are you feeling in Joburg? I saw you, we're shooting in the city of Joburg. And when I came out to fetch you, I was like, yo, I hope you're not scared in a way. You know?
You know, I grew up in a very, I wouldn't say easiest of circumstances.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you put me in the middle of the city of Joburg. I will do everything that I need to. Well, I mean, other than that, I'm definitely not scared. I run a security company, so I can handle guns and all of the stuff. So,
are you serious?
Yeah, no, I'm proper like gangster.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So can you handle like proper guns?
Yeah, no, like properly. Like I can kill a human being.
Sure.
I haven't done it.
We say, we are safe, nah? We are safe now.
Joburg is not an issue for me.
Yeah.
You can put me anywhere.
Are you serious?
No issue.
So when you started to open your company, your security company, did you have to go to like maybe training in a way?
Absolutely, a lot of training. You have to understand what it means. When you're carrying a gun, it's not, you have a lot of responsibilities.
Nah.
It's not an easy thing. And of course, I mean, the laws in South Africa of handling guns are very, very strict. You cannot take it out unless there is a very important thing. You can't just take it out because it's fine. We have it. And of course, when you are in at work, which means they're here, you're a security guard, you are doing VIP protection and all of those things. Also, there's a whole lot more rules around it. But of course, you do that to protect somebody's life. So you have to think about the person more than you.
Jeez, man. Maybe let's take it back. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
So I do a lot.
Yeah. I know.
I have been around. Life has shown me a lot of stuff. Life has taught me so many lessons. And one of the lessons that life showed me was that we are who we are because of what we've gone through. So most of the times we look at our challenges and the things that are not going right as if it's something that we wish they can go away. But those are the things that make us who we are. And if we could just take 1 second or 2 seconds in the middle of all of that and be thankful that those things are happening, because that is what makes us who we are. All the challenges. We never go through life looking forward to the end results, because the end results don't do anything for us, but the journey to getting where we are does everything for us.
Jeez, man. I just want to check if maybe your mic is on. Okay, cool. Because I have to make sure that the information you're going to give us, we don't have any issues in the edit. So basically, at some point, you had a 9-to-5 job. And I know that obviously you do a lot. You're an entrepreneur. You're a businesswoman, basically. How was it a transition to you moving from a 9-to-5 to a full-time entrepreneur?
Yeah.
How was it?
So I would say today I'm a money coach, international accredited money coach.
Yeah.
So I help people with understanding their relationship with money, the emotional and spiritual relationship that we have with money. So a lot of the times we all wake up in the morning and we go to a 9-to-5, or we go to a business, or we go to wherever we're going to make money. But 90% of the people in the planet have been found that they are still broke. And it doesn't mean that they don't wake up and work like everybody else. And you might find that most of the times, the 10% who does have money, they hardly wake up to go and work. So what is the problem here? It's not that what are you doing to make the money. It's how you interact with money. Money is an energy. Money is a spiritual thing. If you are in good terms with it, you will always have it. Either you have a 9 to 5, either you have a business, whatever that you are will be what makes money for you. You will have value and your value will count for a certain amount of money every day, all the time. So I had a 9 to 5, and in this 9 to 5, the only problem that was there was that it wasn't where I was supposed to be. I, of course, grew up without parents and life wasn't easy. Like I was saying, I'm totally gangster, so I've seen it all. From 6 years, I had to provide for myself and make sure that I'm taken care of, because, you know, when you don't have parents, it's not, you don't know what's going to happen next. Jeez. So you go through a lot of stuff. So I grew up at 6 years. I had to grow up and know what's up. I mean, at grade 1, I was selling everything under the sun just to make sure that I've got.
At grade 1?
At grade 1, 6 years old.
What were you selling?
Sweets, peanuts, everything. Okay. I will get into class at 8 o'clock and I'll be thinking that I need to finish the stock. And of course, because I mean, I had the charisma, I sort of like knew how to get my way around. People would have bought. My classmates would have bought the stock, finished by short break, and then I would go around taking from the other kids who are not selling their stock, and I would say to them, if I sell your stock, at the end of the day, we share. The
teachers didn't have any issues with that?
I was a good student. I was the one who was getting 100%, so they really didn't mind my hustling. So, I mean, I was hustling for sure, but also luckily, you know, God had given me that grace of being able to catch the information quickly. So I was always getting good grades. Nobody ever cared about what I was doing other than that. So it gave me that chance to be able to maneuver. So I was an entrepreneur at 6 years, literally.
Jeez.
So of course, now, when I get to go to study, I of course, I was looking for money all my life. I told myself that since I don't have parents, money is going to take care of me. So I was like, it's going to be up to me to take care of myself. Life is not easy. So when I got to go to have a chance to go and study, they said IT was the thing that was going to make me the most money. And I said, yes, of course, I'll take IT. If it's money, then I'm there. I did IT, got my degree, got my first job. I didn't even get internship. That's how good I was. I sat in front of people in an interview and they said, this is the one.
Yeah.
And they gave me a job and I was earning quite well.
How much were you earning?
My first job, I was earning 8,000, and the normal rate at the time, people would be earning like 1.5.
What year was it? What year was it?
That was 2002, 2003.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a long time.
So by now, probably you would be earning maybe 30, 45? Okay.
Somewhere there.
Yeah.
And I mean, the going rate at the time, people at that level of where I was, they were like in about 1.5, 2,000 rands, and I was 8. For the first, I was like, I'm rich.
And you were bowling though. Yeah. Yes. That was a lot of money at the time. Yeah.
I was like, I'm totally rich. Okay. So of course that didn't last, because immediately all the information that I heard about money and how to use money showed up for me. One of the things that I grew up being told is that you should not, it was said, for you to show up in life, you must have some debt. People must have something they are paying debt on to make sure that they are okay. So debt was an important thing, that you must be paying for a room divider. You must be paying
to build up your credit score.
Not really. It was just a saying that you showing up to the world and showing up that you are living because you've got some type of debt.
Jeez.
So like you must go and buy a car, you must go and buy a house so that you have something to pay for, so that you can get, own a certain space in life. And of course, having a car was not something that you were taught that you must buy it cash. You must go and sign up documents and then pay for this car for so long. We were never taught that it's impossible. It's possible for you to be credit free. So that was the first now belief that was now functioning in my life.
So buying things cash was not a thing, basically. You have to buy a cell phone credit.
Remember, we can't afford. We can't afford. We are taught here at home. We can't afford.
So it was a mental thing.
Yeah. People who can't afford must have debt. Because if you afford, then you'll buy it cash, right?
Definitely.
So there were many things that now started to show up in my life. One of them was, which I totally rejected, was the fact that if you're a girl, you must find a man to take care of you. So at that time, that was also a thing where I grew up. The boys were the ones who were told that you must go and work hard. The girls were just told, get a good man to take care of you. So at this point, I had also that chance, but I was like, oh, hell no, I'm not doing that part. So these are all the beliefs about money. So there are so many women that you find even today that they do a lot, but they still cannot take care of themselves. They cannot buy themselves a proper house. They cannot buy themselves anything good. They cannot run their business successful because deep down in your subconscious, you were told that you can't do this. You need a man to do this for you. So you see yourself not being successful, but there is a limiting belief in your subconscious that keeps telling you these things.
And you grow with it.
You grow with it and you keep self-sabotaging because you must show up at that. So now, the first belief about debt. Now, I'm earning 8,000. I wanted to buy my sister a big screen TV because I was so excited that she took care of me and all this. You know how much was the TV? 2,000 rand at one of the furniture shops, the one with an uncle without hair. You know
I know that one.
Yeah. So there was a TV, 2,000 rand.
Yeah.
Guess what I did? I went and I opened a credit. When I could pay for the TV cash.
But why
Who does that?
Yeah.
And now, you know, it's 2,000 rand and if I pay it on credit, I'm going to pay it at 6,000 or more.
Jeez, man.
But I just felt good when they said you qualify. I was like, oh my goodness. You know how many people get excited about qualifying for a credit card?
Jeez, man. So they didn't give you like an option to say, look, you can buy it cash if you want to.
No, nobody was talking about that.
So when you go to the shop, they're like, yo, you qualify to pay this thing every month.
Yeah, like I qualify. Like I didn't care how much I was going to pay for it over time.
Yeah.
I didn't care about, I just cared about the fact that I qualified.
Did you think that buying the TV with credit, did you feel like, okay, cool. For me, let me rather buy it with credit, maybe pay 200 every month instead of me paying 2,000 once off, where you maybe pulled over to that option in a way that let me, instead of paying 2,000, let me just pay 200.
So now the thing was this, my consciousness wasn't about creating wealth. My consciousness was about having a TV, something I couldn't afford all my life. So I couldn't afford to have TV. We were going to other people's houses to watch Stumo, to watch wrestling, to watch. So in my home, we never afforded a TV. So now I wasn't thinking about wealth creation. Wealth creation says, if I buy the TV in credit, it must make me money every month so that I can be able to cover the credit but make profit. Right? That is wealth creation. But doing it because you are lacking is saying, as long as I have a TV and everybody will know that I have a TV, I don't care how much it costs me. So of course, buying it with credit, it's going to cost me so much money because this is not an asset. But I'm not about wealth creation at this point. My subconscious is just telling me you can't afford. Now it's your time. Show people that now you have arrived. So people buy a car they can't afford. People buy a house they can't afford. Or anything else. They go on holidays just so that they can show up on Instagram. But it's not about wealth creation. They are not thinking about wealth creation. They are thinking about, I can't afford, because there's a limiting belief deep down that's saying you can't afford. So they are trying to override that feeling. And it doesn't matter at what cost. That is why people are in debt that is not doing anything. Debt is supposed to be for wealth creation. You're supposed to go to a bank, borrow 100 rand, take that 100 rand and go buy oil and flour and make fat cakes. That you're gonna go and sell and make 500 rands. Then the bank is going to say to you, bring our 100 rand with an extra 50 rand. So you go back to the bank, you pay them 150. Now you have made 350, which means that the 350 you do not take back. You go and invest it somewhere so that 350 can grow. You go back to the bank and borrow another 100 rand and make another set of fake cakes that are going to give you another 350 profit, and you take the 350 into an investment.
But how come we miss that sort of education?
Because we are in our subconscious mind. We are not in the wealth creation vibration.
Where are we?
We are at there. I want to have something for myself also.
Sure. Isn't that a poor mentality?
It is what it is. And we have learned it over the years. If you look at our history as South Africa, as Africa, we have always been the one that is told that, oh, there is a thing in Africa that is happening. Let's go and give them. They don't have. We are the ones who think that we don't have. You can go to other countries, especially the US. You find people who know less than us, but they're behaving like they know everything. And you're just like, but no, man, this is not. But they have so much confidence and they are in a different vibration of creating, but we are on the disadvantage of thinking that we don't have, and we will continually remain at we don't have. It doesn't matter how hard you work. It doesn't matter what you do. As long as you don't have a spiritual and emotional connection that is correct with money, you can't have it.
So you're working for an IT company, or maybe a certain company at an IT department.
Yeah.
When did it click to you whereby you transitioned and you came out of that mentality of where we're coming from as Black people?
Yeah. So I think I only worked for 3 years and I worked in 3 different companies. So company 1, I worked for a year and it was depressing. I was in the IT department. It was underground. That days, it's when IT was still new. So it was that thing that nobody cares about. So it was just like in some underground side of the building where it's dark. And of course, IT people don't mind much. They sit and watch their computers, talk to their computer the whole time. And I was thinking, oh my goodness, this is bad. Because I am supposed to be talking to people. Remember, my calling, my whole personality, God gave me that. I must talk to people. I must be working with humans. But I was working with a computer and it was depressing. So I got depressed and it wasn't working. So I thought, it's this company. Probably there's the people. Let me get a new job. I got a new job. I got more money.
Yeah.
Didn't work. I was feeling depressed again. Got another one. Okay. At that time I knew that definitely this wasn't me. I had seen that this is not where I'm supposed to be. It felt like I wasn't where I'm supposed to be. It didn't feel correct.
Yeah.
And I think because I am somebody who is always risk taking, I was willing to come out of it. Most people don't have that. So they will stay in a place where they are depressed and they're feeling, I was not attending all the 5 days of the week. I would take Tuesday off and just call in sick because I was just too much exhausted by being in a place where I wasn't getting what I needed. I was just giving and giving and giving. Was I able to do the job correct? Yes, I was doing good at what I was doing, but it wasn't where I was supposed to be. It wasn't my purpose in the planet. So, and that showed up in so many people. It shows up at depression. Other people even get cancer from that. It goes very bad. Mental health and all those kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And if you are not where you're supposed to be, your mental health is going to be challenged very, very highly. So you then get out of this job, you go mess up your relationships, you go mess up everything else in your life, and you still don't have the money. Because you can't keep the money if you are not getting the money in the way that you're supposed to be getting it. It's a proper mess.
So you were saying?
So then from there, I then thought, since I know this IT thing is not my thing, I must find something that is me. So the next thing closest to what felt correct was for me to start a business. And I thought, well, nobody in my family has ever done this. Everybody has always worked. Everybody just knows the normal 9-to-5 thing. This business thing was not. At that time, I'm quite old, At that time, it was, entrepreneurship wasn't like now.
It wasn't the thing,
Nobody was talking about it. Actually, entrepreneurship was like, don't do that. it never works. That was the first thing you think about it. So, but then I thought, man, let me try it. And I went into the first business I went into was the property space.
Okay.
So I had to learn, I had to go to courses, understand what property is, what property investments are. So then I started there buying property, renovating and selling. I did well. It was going very well. I was making a whole lot of money. Yeah. But then remember, my consciousness was not in making wealth creation. So what I would do is that I will make a whole lot of money and I will spend it, all of it. On
what? Cars?
Dubai. Houses. What? Like I was showing up. Like, oh my goodness, it was amazing, right?
Yeah.
Little did I know that there was going to be the 2008 recession. Came the 2008 recession, I wasn't ready money-wise. I had all these business deals that were all up there making money, but I wasn't thinking of saving and creating wealth and investing in good things. So when the 2008 happened, I lost that business. Everything went south quickly because I wasn't ready. And that's why I always say, every other 10 years, there's going to be something shocking that's going to shock your money. So you better be ready for it. I mean, the latest one was COVID. So many people did not survive COVID. So many businesses did not, because they were never ready. I mean, during COVID, I made more money than I did before COVID. Jeez. During COVID, because I was ready. Now, I mean, I had my fair share of drama. 2008, I lost everything, got sequestrated after that. I mean, I started so many other businesses and finally got to 40 million rand debt. Starting from
how much?
40 million rand
in debt.
In debt.
How old were you?
That time I was late 20s, about 29.
Yeah.
Close to 30. So. And of course, getting sequestrated was traumatic. Because people who were my age were not having those kind of problems.
You were in your 20s and you had 40 million.
Yeah. Like debt. I had gone through 6 businesses by that time. One business after the other, so one thing that I am totally good at, I would go to the bank, even today, and negotiate myself a very, very good funding.
Wait, so was it one bank or multiple banks?
Multiple. All of them, actually.
So you were getting money from the bank, investing into your businesses?
Yes.
Just like that. I
just kept doing that. And I will fail, and then I will go and negotiate a new term, and they will give it to me because I know how to do a good business plan. I know how to sell myself, and I know how to be passionate about what I'm doing. Yeah. And that is why a lot of people, I've had so many people get funding. Like, no, they will say, I've tried for 10 years, I couldn't get funding. And I will sit down with them and then I'll coach them. Then they'll come back with more money than they were asking for. And you never ask small money from the bank. They will never give it to you. But then again, do not ask for money that you don't know what to do with it.
So you need to be sure.
You need to know your story. But the bank will always give you more money than you must always ask for more money than you think you need. So, I knew how to do that, right? So I did it. I mean, like today, I'm a money coach. I coach people how to do, I coach businesses how to do that. Getting funding is the easiest way. You just need to know your value.
Wow. The 40 million is still in my head right now, you know?
So, after that, the 40 million was the one thing that made me understand that money was energy. It wasn't about how much hard I work, how much skills I've got, what I can make happen or not. I knew that my relationship with money was not okay.
How depressed were you? Did you thought of skipping the country, going to Zimbabwe, Mozambique? Pella, you were owing 40 million. That's not a joke. That's not even a million. That's 40 million.
It was dark. It was dark. But again, I think, at that time, what saved me was that for the very first time, so when the sequestration was happening, people were coming into my house to fetch the cars, to fetch this, to fetch this.
To repossess stuff,
repossess stuff, like everything. Look, everything was collected.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So one time there's a lady who came she was coming with the person who was coming to repossess, and she was a coach. And this lady said to me when they were leaving, she said to me, if you need help, I can offer you a free coaching session. Call me in this number. And I had never heard the term coaching.
She was feeling sorry for you.
Yeah, she was like, oh my goodness, this one's going to kill herself. But it was dark. Man. It was dark. And then I had never heard the term coaching. At that time, there wasn't even coaches in South Africa. This lady was not even from South Africa.
Yeah.
Then I thought, well, you know what? She said it's free, and she said it might work, so let me try it out. So I did call him. My whole entire life turned upside down after that coaching session, because she showed me things that I never knew or understood about myself. One of the things she said, you don't have a problem making money. You have a problem with the relationship you have with money. And I said, what? I need to have a relationship with money?
What are you talking about? Yeah.
Woman, that does not make sense. She said, no, I tell you, in 3 months from now, you'll be back in business. But don't make a mistake. You need to fix something within you, because if you don't, you will still make the money and lose
it. Yeah. There's a lot.
That was my turning point. Finally, I found out what was my actual problem. Because I don't have a problem making money. I am not lazy. I can do everything under the sun.
But when the money comes, it just goes. It comes, it leaves. It comes, it leaves. Yeah.
And one of the limiting beliefs that, for me, were fueling it. So when I was about 2 years, my mother was an entrepreneur. So she used to make breast spreads and a whole lot of things, and would take me with her to town. Then she would sell it to the white ladies there in town. She would make so much money.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, she would take me and we'll go shopping. She would say to me, choose whatever you want. So she would not sleep the whole night. She would work throughout, and then we'll go there and come back with money. And so I was never scared of making money, because I saw her, how she made money. But then also, I was never taught how to use it. So I thought it was for spending.
Jeez, why do you think do you think Black people have an abusive relationship with money? There's a good, they always say like, you need to have a good relationship with money, but they don't talk about the abusive. When you're having a good relationship with your partner, whatever, but we don't talk about when it comes to an abusive relationship with money. Do you think that Black people, they have an abusive relationship with money, whereby the money comes, it just goes. The money comes and we abuse our finances?
The one thing that I know for sure is that we have a big wound as Black people with money.
Yeah.
And it comes from a long, long, long way.
Jeez, wait. We have a what? We have a big wound.
A big wound. Money hurt us.
Kanjan. Yeah.
So remember, way back when Black people were taken for slavery.
Okay.
What was that? Black people were sold. Okay?
Yeah.
So we are still carrying that wound. We need to get over that. And when I'm saying get over it, I mean that we need to frame it correctly. But it is in our subconscious. Then coming back to South Africa. In South Africa, in the 60s, 70s or so, our parents left homes and went to Joburg to work and never came back. That's why everybody's in Joburg right now, right? And back in the villages, there's nobody.
Yes.
So our fathers went and never came back. We lost our parents because they were going to look for gold. So money for us is that thing that took away so much love from us, because who is working now? We are the kids of those that were born in the 40s up to the 70s. Those are the people who had the most trauma around apartheid. We are reliving it now.
So basically, we're having a relation. So money had us in a way. So it seems as if like now money is like our enemy in a way.
Yeah. Because if it wasn't for money, we would have had better lives. So money, if we are money is being mentioned, we have a whole lot of fear that making money costs you something. Making money is going to cost you so making money is going to cost me to not be a mother to my kids. I have to go there every day and leave my children with some woman from some country I don't know. And then maybe she might steal my kids and my money and my whole furniture and I find nothing after work. It is our time, but the good thing is that it's our time to heal from that. And the moment we realize what is really our problem, that we can heal it.
Jeez, that's absolutely true, you know. When you look at Black people, how they have their relationship with money, it's a mess.
Yeah,
it's a mess.
It is.
But how do we fix our relationship with money? Because it seems multiple times, even with me, the money comes and it leaves. Like, how do we? They always say that, you know, sometimes when you see money comes and it leaves, try to find a way to, when the money comes, try to invest in like investments, right? Try and invest in assets, right? So that those assets, they can make you more. Do you understand?
Yes. I mean, that is the logical explanation that we all sort of have in our idea, in our mind. But, well, this is how. But when we're supposed to do it, we do the opposite thing, which is that self-sabotage. So my favorite question of all times is, how do we fix the relationship we have with money? That is why then I had to write that book. Because remember, I wrote that book. I got the 40 million rand debt. I came out of it. I finally was able to create a company that was now, I mean, at the first me understanding that, oh, actually, this is what happened. I had created a company. I had now employees. I had now was using my born skill, which was I started a health and safety consulting.
Okay.
I was literally concentrating now on saving people's lives in the mines, and I was doing all that work on safety in that industry, because at that time things were very bad. People were dying every day and they weren't good systems. So I came up with that. And now it was giving me so much that I didn't even have to work. So I now could hire people, and this was a great company. And then people started to notice. I started to get awards. I started to be recognized as a Black woman who was making it. And then everybody now started to come to me, say, Busi, help us. How did you make it? How did you make it? And then that's when I had to say to them, hey, somebody one day woke me up and said, and coached me out of my misery of what was going on internally and emotionally with me around money.
Yeah.
Then when I started to talk about that, everybody was like, that doesn't sound right. Tell us, who do you know? What are your contacts? Like, how did you make this happen? And I was saying, no, guys, I didn't do anything other than fixing myself. I gone through the process of fixing myself, and now everything was working out. Everything was showing up. And then the next thing was that I started this company. It was doing well, and I saw that, but I felt that I still had more in me that I wanted to give. And now, of course, everybody was asking me for advice. And that's when I then went and studied as a coach, because the coach was the one that helped me. I thought, well, everybody's asking me the question, and every time I'm trying to tell them what happened, I don't know how to explain it correctly. Let me study to become a coach so that I can explain it better to them. Then I studied and became a coach, and that's when I started to do this work of speaking and helping people. And then I wrote the book. When I was writing the book, I was telling them the story of a Black person, and it's not really about a Black person. The book is called Money and Black People.
Yeah.
Why Black people don't have money and how to heal your money story. So I told my story of what I went through, and then I was showing, and then I'm showing all the loopholes in my journey that was the blind spot that I wasn't noticing.
Yeah.
And everybody, when they read it, they're like, oh my goodness, I can connect with this. I am doing this, and I didn't know why I'm doing it. I am experiencing this, and I didn't know why I'm experiencing it. But the most important part of the book is the part where I am literally giving the process that I used to change that mentality for me, to change that programming for me. So in the book, I've got a 30-day money mindset program. It's a very emotional program.
Yeah.
But it helps a person to realize their deep-seated money beliefs. That you wouldn't just wake up and say, why am I not sticking to my budget? There's a reason why you want to stick to your budget. You do. But why are you not doing it? There is a belief that you have. And once you notice the belief, you now have jumped it. It's not going to bother you anymore. So all of us have to take the time. I mean, I always say, People normally say, on day 2, I couldn't continue because it's that emotional. But you have to try to take yourself through. It's 21 days. Try to get yourself to go through those 21 days and look at all these corners of your emotional side with money. And in each and every one, try to clear something every day. I mean, if you don't have the time, when you go to the bathroom, take the book with you and read one paragraph.
Yeah.
And practice what is in there. Because literally all that I did to change my mindset, today I have a business that I don't have to work any harder, and I'm making way more money than I used to make when I was working harder. But it is because I finally realized what I was doing wrong. And now I can live my purpose. I do every day what I want to do. I don't have to do it because I don't have money. There is a big difference in doing something you love because you want to do it than doing something that you have to do because you want to earn something. The money flows very, very little when you have to. The money flows so easily when you want to do it. You can go and ask any rich person. They will tell you, I wanted to start that retail store. They don't say, I had to.
Jeez. I want us to take it back to the 40 million debt. How were you able to pay it back? Is it because of the companies that you invested the 40 million with, or you had to start another company that's going to have to pay back the debt slowly?
So I took the sequestration route. So the sequestration route works like this. The bank looks at all the assets you've got versus all the debts you've got. So then they say, okay, we can get you sequestrated, which means that we'll take everything you have and go pay all the companies that you owe. So you are left with zero in all sense of the word. Everything is taken out. You are left with the clothes you are wearing.
Jeez.
So that all the people that you are owing gets paid. So they don't get paid the full amount. They get paid as portion. So so you go through the high courts. The high court then decides who gets what, how much. Okay. Yeah. Then now you, the one who has done this, you are now taken, you get a court sentence. So they give you 16 years of no credit whatsoever. You can't get a phone. You can't buy anything on credit for 16 years. So for 16 years, you can't get a job. You can't be hired to get a job because you are blacklisted, like you die.
Yeah. So they blacklist you like on another level.
Yeah, like on a totally, like you can't get a job. I mean, I had an IT degree. I went for an interview after all of that and they told me, but we just checked. We can't hire you. We are not allowed, lawfully, we are not allowed to hire you for 16 years. So even the degree that I studied that, you're told you must have education, you fall back on it. I couldn't fall back on it. They couldn't hire me. So you can't be hired. You can't have anything like even start a bank account or something like that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like you die for 16 years. You go into rehabilitation, they call it.
So what happened? But were you allowed to start another business though?
So you could start, but everything you have to do with cash.
Okay.
So now finally you are on your own. Like the true meaning of on your own.
Jeez.
So the good thing.
You're like a foreigner basically.
Worse than that. So for 16 years, that is when I learned to buy everything cash. I learned to buy a car cash.
In a period of 16 years.
Yes. You go to, and it's a good thing. It's a rehabilitation and it's a good thing.
I gag.
Because you finally learn how to do it correct. 16
years. You can't buy a phone. You can't buy a house. You can't buy literally anything. You have to buy cash.
So of course, the rehabilitation, they look at how you are. Just behaving. Like when you go to jail.
Yeah.
So they look at how you are behaving towards, so they assess you. And then sometimes they will cut their time short if they see that you are doing better than you used to do.
Yeah.
So you will have to do everything cash, but then they track you and how you have you changed.
Yeah.
So then you might get a lesser parole.
So they suspect maybe that this person might be having some sort of a psychological problem in a way.
No, it's just that you did wrong. Of
Ungathi utshontshile kahle kahle.
Very utshontshile. I mean,
Utshontshile imali yasebhank. So they had to make like thorough investigations.
Yeah. So depending on how much you owing and all those things, you know, it's like when you're owing SARS. If you're owing SARS a little bit money, then nobody's gonna come to your house. But if you're owing them a lot, they will come and check you out like properly. So the more you owe, the worse it gets. Yeah.
So you went to the money coach. How were you able? So you had to start another business on the side. So you sold. They had to take everything, basically, all the businesses.
Yeah. So at that time, everything had to shut down.
Jeez, how many businesses were you having at the time?
That was the 6th one at that time, and so when everything shut down, I had to go zero on everything. So yeah, that was total death. And then between the sequestration and I think about 4 to 6 months, I was looking, the first 2-3 months I was looking for a job. I couldn't find one.
Yeah.
And then during the coaching, so the coaching was happening there.
Yeah.
During the coaching, I found out that, actually I am very good at being a salesperson. That was my skill that God gave me from day one. So I went and looked for a sales job. Of course, I couldn't find one. Then I went and negotiated with a company that I said to them, I want to help you do sales, but you can't hire me because this is the issue. But I ask that I be in partnership with you. When I get a client, you would give me a certain percentage and I will do that for you. So then they couldn't hire me, but they could do that with me. So then I started to do that and I did it so well. That's when, I was making so much commission. Everybody was shocked. But that is what the coaching did for me, because it was now showing me who I really am. And for the first time in my life, I was using something that was so easy for me to use. And then it made me so much money without me trying, because this is who I am.
Jeez, I think maybe we've covered so many things due to time. But how do people reach you if maybe they need like money coaching?
Oh, that's easy. So I'm definitely on the social media platforms, but most on Instagram. So Instagram is where I show all the programs that I'm doing, and it's the easiest platform just to get contact with me, DMing and all that. But I've also have a website that has all the courses that I offer. So I do a lot of online courses that people can go through by themselves in their own space and be able to understand most of the things that are problematic in their lives. Because really, the day you understand what is wrong, you have won the fight. You have so much power back to you when you understand what is really wrong. Solving problems is the easiest thing. You just need to know what is the problem. Where do people find your book? Oh, sorry, you wanted to. It's on the website, Busi.com. Oh, okay. It's the book. The book is there. There's a link on that website that you can buy the book. And also Instagram, you can just DM me, Busi Selesho. You can DM me and the book gets delivered same day, delivery in South Africa. And if you want to buy it online, you can just also send us a DM, and then we'll give you the link to find it online, because there's an ebook. If there's one solution that we have to give to a Black person who's having money issues, it could be anybody. Could be a doctor, could be a person who's working at a bank. It could be anybody. It could be somebody who's working at ShopRite. I hope they pay us. What is that one thing that you can tell that person so that they can change their money mindset? Yeah, I think it is to understand how you connect with money. If you hear the word money, there is always the first thought that shows up. It could be that I don't have it. So you feel fear, then you know there's a problem. Or it could be that, it's so tiring to make money. That's another difficult emotion to deal with. Or it could be, I need to make more because I don't have. So the day you don't feel a negative emotion when money is mentioned, you know you've gone a long way. So identifying what is your emotional state connecting to money is the best thing you can ever do. Because now, all of a sudden, you know what triggers are there. You can start making your way to healing those triggers. But also now, when the triggers do trigger, you can handle them. So when you put a goal to say, I want to save maybe 20% of my salary this year, and at the end of the year, you are actually minus 20%. You need to say, why would I not do it? Because literally, when you are self-sabotaging, you will have money saved up and you will find yourself having a tire puncher so that you can pay this. Now, why do people who win the lotto 3-4 months later, they don't have money? They blow the money,
yeah.
It's because subconsciously, they are not set up like that to have that kind of money. They will get themselves hit by a bus so that they can go to hospital and pay all the bills with the money. We literally will find a way to make the money go away. If your fridge can burst, somebody can stop you and take your bank card and go and withdraw all the money. You create so much trauma in your life to make the money go away when you do not have a good place with it. Not that you don't have money. Your money goes away because you are chasing it away yourself.
Right now where you are, do you sometimes walk through the mall and see something amazing? Do you sometimes say the statement, geez, I can't afford that?
That's a very good question. So, all of us likes different things. And we never like all of the things. So there are people who are more, I know my best thing is a holiday. Another person would say my best thing is a home. Other people would say my best thing is a car.
Yeah.
But society has told us, for a successful person, you must have a German car, yep. You must have a home in this suburb, you must have this, you must have this. But some people don't care. So there are people who should understand that all they want is to travel the world. So take your money and do that.
Yes.
Do not buy a car. Do not go and buy some house that you just want to have it because your friends think you must have a house. No, take your money and go travel the world because that is what nourishes you.
Yeah.
There are people who want to have a big house and they don't want to travel. So when you finally understand yourself, what makes you happy, you stop looking at all the things, and all the things that makes you happy, you will afford them. I can bet my life on it right now.
Jeez.
You will never find yourself in a state of saying, oh, I want that, but I can't afford it. You will afford all the things you need. But you will now be honest, truly honest with what really matters to you. Sometimes you are happy overing because you don't need a flashy car. But there are people who, that's what makes them happy, a flashy car. But they don't have to do the other things. So again, if you then get out of the world system is set up in a way that will make sure that at all times people are vulnerable to it. So they will tell you, you need this, you don't have this, you are not worthy. But once you give yourself the worthiness, then you cannot go with the system of the world. So when I was in sequestration for that 16 years, I wasn't following the world system because the world system had kicked me out. Then I learned to be myself.
Couldn't you couldn't you leave the country though? Maybe were you blacklisted worldwide?
No, only in South Africa.
South Africa.
Yeah.
Did you thought of maybe leaving, going to Dubai or something like that?
I think so many thoughts came through.
Yeah.
But I think when I sat down with that coach, I understood that, oh man, this is what I didn't understand. Can I just try and fix that?
Yeah.
So I got the chance to have the moment to sit with it and not run. So I could run away with it easily and kill myself. That would have been running away or any other running away. But I think finding a coach, which I think everybody should do, find a coach because a coach will take you to where you need to be and show you what is wrong. And when I saw what was wrong, I was like, oh, damn, that is actually something I can do. It's something I can fix.
Yeah.
Then I wasn't trying to, I could have killed myself. I could have done so much stuff. that was just for me to come out of this situation. But that is when I thought, I need to heal from this. Because for some reason, I felt that there was so much in me that needed to come up. And I'm happy that I did go through the healing, because today I'm helping I'm helping thousands and thousands of people all over the world. The book is selling all over the world.
Jeez.
And people who are ready to face that part of themselves, that emotional part of themselves with money, can face it. And it's not that you're going to have an amazing life or like whatever. You are happy at all times with yourself. You wake up every day to do what you want to do at the time you want to do, and you don't have to worry about anything else but just doing you. Peace is what you get.
Busi, thank you so much for coming through. That was amazing. That was incredible. I'm sure people that are watching, they actually learned a lot from you.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, no stress. We got you. I'm sure people are definitely going to hit you up. People that are having some challenges with their finances, they actually want to find ways as a solution. I appreciate you for coming through, for making time. I'm not sure whether you're based in Joburg or Pretoria, but if you're based in Pretoria, I appreciate you a lot for making all the way from Pretoria to Johannesburg. I really appreciate you a lot. May you grow. I'm definitely going to come through to consult so that you can help me personally with money. I really appreciate you a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you.
Thanks.